Well, it's your old pal Tim here, and things are getting rather sporty. Let me show you what's going on here. So after almost a month at sea on this hitch, and it's almost 3 months for me because I was working over, all of us on the boat were pretty beat up and kind of really sick of the weather in the Gulf of Mexico. So when you get in your bed, you're usually pretty tired, and it doesn't take too long to roll off and dream of those beautiful waters we had down in Puerto Rico with the sun coming up as we're going into Aguirre. Oh yes, you can kind of feel us cruising around. My chief was driving the drone. He has one of these racing drones that he built himself, and put this together, and this is what we're dreaming of. We're loving it here. Life was so wonderful down there. As you can see, about 360 some feet of barge, 100 and some feet of tugboat, about 450 altogether, about 2.4 million gallons of two oil or clean, with basically diesel, into the sunrise into Aguirre from Guayana. Oh, things couldn't have got better. Wait a minute. Tim, wake up. You're dreaming. This is reality now. Well, it's your old pal Tim here, and things are getting rather sporty. Let me show you what's going on here. This is a 30-minute line. Let's see if I can get that brighter. I guess that's as good as it's going to get. So this is a 30-minute line, so in about 10 minutes we're going to enter the channel and make a 90-degree turn. We've shortened up and we're going real slow. As you can see, it's a little challenging here while we're banging into it, but that'll be more challenging when we get in the channel side 2 and have to get through the buoys. So I've woken up a mate, and he'll be up here helping me, and we'll see how it works. So what you guys are probably getting used to by now is that I always say how the seas never look that bad on camera, and it's a real thing. It really is true. But anyway, it was pretty gnarly and getting in there, and obviously I was really concerned about getting the job done safely and not concerned about filming as much. So this was kind of an afterthought. Right now we've already made our 90-degree turn. We're into the channel now. You can see the barge kind of goes off at a 45-degree angle. It doesn't look it now, but it's blowing between 30 and 35, sometimes gusting to 40 right now, and we're in very shallow water coming in. It was interesting because when we were shortening up and getting ready to get in the channel, a good 650-foot ATB was on its way in, and I was going to take his stern, and he goes, oh, you know what, I'm going to duck out of the channel and turn right around. He turned around and went to anchor. It's like, oh my God, what are we doing out here? But anyway, you'll see that the barge is facing off, and what it does is when the wind blows like this really hard, the barge will actually point towards the wind. And if you wonder why that does that, what's happening is we are the only force pulling on the barge, and we're pulling it from the bow. So the wind it looks like the bow is pointing into the wind, but really what's happening is the stern is just being dragged along by the bow of the barge, and the bow of the barge is being pulled by the tugboat. So when the wind hits the side of the barge, or the seas for that matter, it doesn't have to be the wind, it can be either of the two, but it's going to push that stern down because there's no wire holding it up. So although it looks like the bow is pointing into the wind of the seas, which is actually the case, it's really that's a result of the stern being pushed away from it. And so that's why sometimes you'll always see the barge leading off, and if we're going, it's not uncommon, like if you're towing an Ambrose channel or something like that, where you will see the barge leaning off, like the barge is like a tugboat width or more off to one side or the other. And that's because when you pull at it at a 45-degree angle, we're going relatively slowly here because it's so nasty, and I have to have the wire short and putting a tremendous load on the wire. As you can see, we've also lost the donut here, and that wasn't by design. That was because when we were turning in here, it was so violent that the wire popped out of the donut. And we have these things called safety chains that we put around them to hold them in place. But in this particular thing, where we're only going to need this to get into the channel around the corner, and then so it's like this for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then it'll be beautifully flat calm. So it doesn't make sense to risk life and limb by sending a man out on deck setting up the safety chains. But yeah, that's how that works. And so when we're going like this, when the barge turns at a 45-degree angle, because the stern is pointed down, but your forward momentum is going ahead, the barge wants to shoot off, kind of like a water skier does, off to the side. But it doesn't go, where a water skier will almost overtake the ski boat. This just will move off in that direction. So sometimes it's kind of funny. You would think if the wind and the seas are coming from one side, you would think that the barge would fall off to the other side. But it's not uncommon for it to do exactly the opposite for these reasons. But I apologize for all the noise. I am at the end of my wits trying to put content together for you guys, and I'm in the Dominican Republic for the first week off, or the first week I've had in this is week 12, and last 11 weeks I've been at sea. So but in a couple days I go back to New York, and I'll be shooting content in New York again, and that will be fun. I think the boat that I'm going on was the one that I was on before, so we're not exactly doing bunker work, and I've heard that we might be going down to the Carolinas or something like that, but who knows what we're doing. It's a great crew. There's 2 crews. I'll be working there for 2 weeks, so I'll be with both the crews, and I like both of the crews a lot, so that'll be really fun. They were a good time when I was there, so I'm looking forward to going back there. But wanted to get something out to you guys to hold. I can't even talk this morning. Must have been all that Presidente I drank last night. But having a wonderful time here in the DR. I apologize for all the noise. It was funny. I've had to do this voiceover about 3 different times because the construction guys across the street are cranking music like I've never heard anything like this. I thought Puerto Ricans were loud. Boy, nothing like the guys in the Dominican. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys on the one.